Hello, everybody, and welcome to another What's Cooking with Dr. Cook. I'm Dr. Allison Koch, the resident registered dietitian and editor with foodguides.com, a place where GERD, acid reflux, and IBS sufferers and those following the low FODMAP diet can come and get all of their nutrition information and product recommendations specific to those conditions. Super shout out to all of the dietitians today because it's Registered Dietitian Day. Woot, woot. Woohoo! And we are joined by a very special guest today and one of my most favorite people in the entire universe, Chef Lisa Green. Yay. Wonderful.
Hello.
Hello. And guess what, everybody? We are actually cooking today. So it's What's Cooking with Dr. Cook. We are going to cook eggs, which, believe it or not, is actually quite technical. And I had to reach out to Chef because I bought what I thought were omelet pans. And I was like, you know what? Let's make an omelet. These are relatively friendly to everybody, and it's been a really long time since I've taken a culinary class, so it's not something I make on the daily. Usually, my husband does the omelet cooking, but I showed these pans to Chef Lisa. She's like, I'm not sure those are omelet pans, but yeah, they're these pans, but they come, come apart. So we're going to use them today because they said they were omelet pans, and we're going to see what happens, but we're not sure. But yes. So Chef Lisa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Lisa. I am a graduate of Secchia Institute for Culinary Education in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I graduated valedictorian in 2013. I've won some awards. I've done some cooking classes up here in the Mitten, and I am super excited to reconnect and do the show with my best friend from high school, Dr. Cook. So, and the omelet pans, Allie, they are omelet pans, and it takes away from having to flip it. It kind of steams
So
it.
I'm still confused about this. Like,
I
I
know,
mean, I'm interested in the flipping, but so it steams the omelet.
yeah. So basically, if you put the lid on top, it cooks the eggs all the way through without having to flip it and get the other side.
So
That's
where
what
do
I
you put the
gathered from
vegetables?
the vegetables would be put after, like in a separate pan or in the eggs themselves, however you would like to do it. We can do it
All
in the
right.
eggs.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know about you. I'll have you instruct me on what I need to do. I think we might not do that
That's fine.
because that just it just seems a little complicated. I would love to do
Hmm.
like just a regular omelet because I don't think
Okay.
everybody has the Cuisinart omelet pans. But
That
before
sounds
we
good to
get
me.
started on that, I would love to ask you some questions. I'm so proud of you for graduating valedictorian of your culinary program. That's amazing. You've had such a successful career as a chef, and also I do want to take it back to our high school days for a second, though. Can you believe the amount of junk food we ate for so cheap?
Oh my gosh, hot and now at lunch. I cannot believe. And the pop machines, the soda machines on every floor of the high school. Yeah, it was, no, I cannot believe it at times.
Yeah. Did anybody in the audience, are you familiar with a hot and now? Okay, so these were like little drive-throughs, like back in Michigan. You could go and get a 39 cents hamburger and a 49 cents cheeseburger. So
Uh-huh.
if you had a $10 per week lunch allowance, like I did. That was a great choice before swim practice. You know,
They, do you remember they had the best French fries too? They were so hot and crispy.
yep,
Yeah.
for sure. There were those one days where I would splurge and get the olive burger, which was, I think, $1.19. Hmm. It's just wrong. They went out. I think
Oh,
there are no more hot nows, but
no,
I,
I think there's one left somewhere up north in northern Michigan or east side, but it's not around here.
yeah, I'd be curious to see how much those are now. Hmm.
Yeah, probably $10.
Yeah, you know, for sure. But we worked our first job together, which was at Putt Putt Golf and Games in the arcade business. And I would love to know, really, after all of that, when did you decide to become a chef?
Um, I decided in my late 20s, actually. I was bartending and waiting tables, and I always liked to cook. And one day I just was like, I really don't want to bartend for the rest of my life. And so I decided to go to culinary school, and I drove, it was an hour away from my home. So I drove every day for 2.5 years and loved every second of it. So and that's is history.
Yeah, absolutely. What was your favorite class in culinary school?
Oh, goodness. It's really difficult to say. They all were really unique. The chefs were all different in their personalities and the way they taught and their education. But I would have to say by the instructor, it would have to be, we had to take waiting table classes, to learn the proper way to wait on tables. But we also learned about like coffee and teas and Chef Schultz in that class. Him and I still talk and text each other from time to time. So that was probably one of my favorite classes because of him. So, and then pastries with the master pastry chef from France. He was hoot. So he was very, very smart and he liked things done his way. So that would probably be a close second.
That's amazing. Did you have Chef Angus Campbell for any
I
classes?
did. Yes, I did.
Oh, that's
And that's another
awesome.
one. So that was one of my favorite classes too. He was so, I love Chef Campbell. So,
Yes. So in the dietetics program, we had to take Intro to Culinary Skills.
hmm.
And so that was my one culinary class that I did take, and it was with Chef Angus Campbell.
Oh,
And I felt
really?
like, yes, yeah, and I felt like that
Oh
was
my
just such
gosh.
a blessing. I learned more in that
Yeah.
class. It outstanding. It Culinary skills are unreal.
Hmm.
Coming out so empowered, to try new things and to cook. And probably my favorite thing, well, two favorite things coming out of that class was learning actually how simple it is to make your own pasta.
Oh yeah. A
You
lot of
know,
things. And yeah. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I,
Sorry.
I would love to actually do that on the show because, it's just, it tastes so much fresher. you know?
Does. And it is,
Yeah,
a lot of things that we take for advantage of in the stores that are just, oh, we'll just buy that sauce, or oh, we'll just buy that brownie mix, are actually really simple ingredients just to make at home. And um, but the convenience factor of having it already done is always nice too. So
right, right. But
uh,
making it at home is often, less expensive too.
yeah,
Pasta is very inexpensive to make,
yeah, very
for
flour and
sure.
water.
Yeah,
So,
right.
but
Yeah, I loved having him because he had in one class we had to make something that was related to our heritage, and he's from Scotland,
hmm.
and I have Scottish heritage as well, so I wanted to impress him.
I bet.
So what I did is I looked up a traditional scone recipe,
Okay.
and I learned a lot from that because, like, it a traditional scone is not sweet, not sweet at
Ah, okay.
all. And everybody else is making their foods, and then we had to make enough for everybody to try some. And I just remember, everybody was kind of tasting it, and they were like, I don't know about this. But he took a bite, and he was like, and I was like,
Yeah.
yes, yes, like
His
I
eyes
did
probably got all
something
wide. He was
awesome.
so such a cute man. I was like, his personality, he was
Yes.
just, yeah, I adored him.
Yeah, my
Mhm.
favorite quote that he said was like, "There's nothing better than a warm cup of soup and a cold dark beer on a cold
Yeah,
winter's day." I was like, "Oh, you're so cool."
yes, he retired very shortly after I had him in class. So, um, but he was good.
Yes. So
Mhm.
after all of that, what is your signature dish now? Like what is your like stamp on it Chef Lisa dish?
Well, I would have to say there's been a lot. I would say the scallop dish that I make. It's with house cured pork belly, really thick cut, seared, and then you sear the scallop, and then I make a pineapple habanero puree, and that's chilled, and then so it goes the bacon, the scallops, the sauce, and then some fresh cilantro. I'd
Ooh.
say that would be one that I. And for dessert, a coconut cream pie with a curry crust. That was always a good one too. So
Oh, yum.
yeah,
Yeah, that sounds
uh,
amazing.
it is. I my favorite thing to cook would be soups. I like soups because you can just throw
Yes,
anything in them.
definitely. A lot of room
Hmm.
for herbs, like
Hmm.
herbs and spices with those.
Yeah, and you can use up
Definitely.
what you need to use up in your refrigerator.
Exactly. Yeah, I always call it like clean out the pantry chili.
Ah, yeah, perfect.
Because there's always like some random beans and tomato paste or sauce, that needs to go.
Tomato paste is the worst because you get this can. It's like, okay, that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, what am I going to do with the rest of this?
Yeah. So,
So, would you consider soup a cuisine, or what is your favorite cuisine to cook?
well, soup. Yeah, it's a course. Yeah, I would say a
Okay.
cuisine. Are you thinking more like um regional cuisines or just? Oh, I love Asian and Mexican. Or yeah, food. I like combining flavors. I like to get all of the senses involved, all of the taste buds, umami, bitter, salty, sweet. And then I like to get the textures, the crunchy but nice and soft. And so I like to just have your mouth exploding with happiness.
Yes, that's the best. And it really does affect all of your pleasure,
Hmm.
like all of your senses, they really hit your brain and give you
Hmm.
that whole pleasurable experience when it comes to
Yep.
eating.
Yep. Hence
Absolutely.
emotional eating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yep. It's how
yeah.
we show our
Yeah.
love to others and ourselves.
Yes.
Definitely. Well, I have more questions for you, but shall we experiment
Get to
with this
cooking?
omelet cooking?
Yes.
All
Yes,
right.
we shall.
Oh, let's do this. So,
All right.
as they say in culinary school, or culinary class for me, I did prepare my mise en place, which,
Nice.
for those of you who are listening, means everything in its place.
Hmm.
So, um, let's see here. I will, well, I'll just show you. So, here's my mise en place. So, I'm cooking with kale, mushrooms, and some dill Havarti, and I already have my eggs cracked, but just for simplicity. But I think there might be some something to do with the whisking of the eggs I might have to consider.
Oh, with the temperature of the eggs for whisking them. The colder, oh, you're putting me on the spot here. I think it's the colder they are, the fluffier they get. I'm just trying to think of
Okay,
when I did meringues. But it should be fine.
cool. When I was
And it could be
the opposite, well, they should be in between, um,
yeah.
where they
And
should be
the
good to
warmer
go.
they are, the faster they'll cook. But I
Okay,
think you'll be fine. It's just
all
eggs.
right. I know. I'm so excited because I'm wearing my new apron for the first time.
Oh,
So
are ya?
look, it's blue
Ooh,
crabs.
nice.
I know. And it matches my
Oh,
spatula.
perfect.
I know.
Very nice.
No, so cute. Um, all right, so I'm going to set you all down for a minute and look at my pans. All right, you can see my pans there. All right, so while I bring my ingredients over, do you have a favorite kitchen gadget?
Oh, yes. The food processor or RoboCoop would be the brand name that I have. Um, it's great for making salad dressings, chopping bacon, dicing anything, and it's just my favorite food processor is the one that I like the most.
Can I be honest with
And
you? I
then
was
as
watching
for
a
like,
TikTok
yeah.
and I've been using my food processor wrong. I have been taking out, after I blend things, I've been taking out the actual like blade before I scoop stuff out of it. So I've been seeing
Oh,
people
you're not.
actually, so apparently you're supposed to take stuff out of the food processor before you take the blade out.
Oh, why?
Uh, oh, is that not a thing?
Because
Cool.
it might gets a hole in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I've done
Oh,
it
not a thing.
both
Okay, cool.
whatever way I feel like at the moment, I guess.
Yeah. So
Blade in,
should
blade out.
so should I start heating up my pans
Yes. Ye-
with like stuff in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So what you want to do is turn on your burners. So are you going to put the vegetables in a separate? You're going to do the vegetables in one and then the eggs in the other?
Is that what I should do?
Yes. So we'll
Okay.
start with the vegetables. So you want to start with the mushrooms and then the
Okay.
kale I would add at the very end, unless you want it.
Okay.
Kale, if you cook it too long, it kind of gets off color.
Yes. And
So
this is low or
the mushrooms will still low to medium. You want to start with the pan hot and then add your oil, or are you doing an oil and butter,
yes. So how
or
much
just
butter?
yes? Oh, how much vegetables? As far probably just a teaspoon,
Okay.
approximately, and then the same for the oil. So you mix the oil and
Okay.
butter in a pan because butter has a very low smoke point. So what it will do, it will burn. It will burn your eggs. It will burn the vegetables. And if you add like a vegetable oil or canola or even an olive oil, would bring up the point of the butter, so the um, food doesn't burn as quickly.
Yeah, so that is one thing with the olive oil. It does have a low smoke point.
Hmm.
Because
Can I? I'm
I
trying to.
sure do know that can make
Okay, there
things
we
look
go.
pretty rough sometimes.
Yes. Oh shoot. Okay.
All right.
Now I can see that better. It was so tiny.
I
Okay.
am
So
going to
then,
grab
while
my
your vegetables,
oil.
oh, sorry,
All right.
I did bring out my trusty skills book from my first culinary class, and it has two different styles of omelets in it: the
Ooh.
French and the what's the other one? Folded omelets, which is what we are doing.
So we're doing folded?
Yes, or unless you want to
Okay.
flip, and then it's all up to you. That part.
Oh my gosh. So the French is the flip.
The French is actually folded too. The French, the only
Okay.
difference is that um you keep going like this with the pan and the eggs in it to make them nice and fluffy, is what
Ooh.
it says.
I think I'm
And
gonna
then
do
you
the
fold
fold.
it. Yeah. And then
So
when it's
good for
finished, you
the
fold it all up.
mushrooms?
Nope, go ahead. Is the pan hot? Yeah, I can't tell. You
The
might want to
butter
turn it
has
up a little.
melted.
Yeah. As long as the pan, yeah, it should be fine. The omelet pan, the one that you're cooking the eggs on, that's the one that you want it to be not too hot and not too cold. Because if it's too cold, it will stick. If it's too hot, it will burn or get brown.
Okay. That's been my
And then I
problem. It
always,
must have been too cold.
it'll be okay. Mushrooms are very forgiving.
I mean my eggs
I
before.
see.
I'll tell you,
Mhm.
most of the time when omelets are made by myself, it turns into a scramble.
Ah, I understand that. That's, yep. Nothing wrong with that though.
Oh
So
no,
I
no.
like to season as I go along. As I cook, I season in layers. So to the mushrooms, I would add salt and pepper if you desire. Um, Mushrooms, I feel, need salt because otherwise they don't have a lot of flavor. They kind of taste flat. But yeah,
Is that enough? I'm the
uh,
worst. Like I use a lot of like herbs and like seasonings, but
hmm
like, well, when I say
Was
seasonings, I
that
mean
salt?
like, yeah, that
Okay.
was salt.
Okay.
But I'm
I
one of those
can't
people
tell.
that just doesn't salt. I don't know.
Yeah, that should
Wait,
be
I
plenty.
lie. My salt comes from my favorite seasoning, which is this.
Oh yes,
I don't know.
yes. I use that too.
Oh, it's so good.
It's
Do
that's
you have
good
like a
if you put it.
favorite seasoning?
Oh, well, I love curries. I
Mm,
love making curry. And that one I use different curries in it, green and red, and um, I also, I just love it all. The one thing I don't really care for is lemon pepper, but
I think I'm with you there. I've had too much of it throughout my life on like chicken.
hmm yeah. All right, so that looks like those are pretty good. And once they get soft, you can probably turn off the pan and add the kale to it, and just let the kale kind of sit there chilling with the mushrooms until you're ready to put them in the eggs. So now you want to turn on your egg pan, get that nice and you want that to be hotter than the pan that you cook the vegetables in. And then while
Okay.
that's heating up, you'll whisk your eggs together with
Okay.
if you have milk or cream on hand, you can add that. If not, it will work
Okay.
out just fine with just the eggs. So, yeah, you-
Those are good. Does it
as
matter
long as
how
it's
long
all
I
combined, it's
whisk?
hard for me to tell. Maybe a little bit more.
Okay. I think I have milk. It is I don't I don't drink dairy milk, but I have original silk. How's that?
Let's not. I don't know
You don't
how
think
it would.
so?
I don't.
I
I don't want to say
I have
yes,
half
and then
and
it ends up
half.
sticking. And oh, half and half would work. But that's a personal preference if you want to add. Um,
A splash.
some people add water to the eggs before they make an omelet.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Hmm.
Now, a good way to test the pan is when you put the
Yeah.
butter and the oil in, and if it starts like sizzling right away, then it should be ready. And you want to make sure it's coated, even though it says it's non-stick, coat that thing with butter and oil, or I don't. Yeah, so hotter. Yeah.
Hotter.
And now different, like with the temperature of medium, low. It all depends on what kind of stove. people have too, because if you have a gas stove, it's going to be probably a low to medium heat. So,
I really wanted a gas stove. I had another glass top stove, and my oldest stepped on the top and broke it. So it was kind of like, oh, we need a stove top really, or we need a new stove really quick. And they would have to put like gas in and all that stuff. And do I need more?
yeah, no,
Okay.
that should be good.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah, just is that what you
Oh,
said more? Oh, it should be fine. And then just kind of, if you take the pan and kind of swivel the butter around it, just make sure it's all coated. And then once it's hot, add the eggs. And then you can always turn down the pan too if it looks like it's kind of bubbling too much or if the edges are getting. But that looks really nice. That looks, yeah, nice and sheen.
good. Okay.
Yeah. So
All
all
right.
those
Now
like
add the eggs.
flecks. Yeah. I think so. It's hard for me to judge.
It's, well,
Is
it's
it
just
is
kind
the
of
oil kind
sitting there.
of I think it should be close.
It's
Yeah.
starting to brown.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. So
Okay.
you can probably pour out some of the excess if you have a yeah. You can put it in with the vegetables if you like or anywhere.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
you want it
Yeah.
all?
No.
Oh,
No, however, it's
okay.
fine. It's fine. And now you want to add your eggs.
Yeah.
Alright. So with
All
this,
right.
what I usually do is that I will like take one of the edges of the omelet and then just kind of
Uh-huh.
let some of the um, egg go in that spot. So, and if it comes away from the pan, then you can, yeah, yeah. And then I'll do that, and you can probably turn it down. It looks like it's bubbling a little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. And then just do that, and then when you feel comfortable flipping it, or if you want to keep doing that, you can even pop the bubbles and and then more eggs in there. Yeah. So,
Oh,
yeah.
this is so fun. I had no idea.
So, and
Oh,
then
wow. Cool. Oh, all right.
how's it
Do I
done?
just keep going?
Yeah, and if you want to try to flip it onto the other side and then put your cheese and then the vegetables and fold it, or you can keep doing that until it's all cooked, or you
Should
can
I
throw it in
push
the.
it up
Hmm?
and try? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I do
I
that
kind
too.
of want to
Hmm?
try to flip it. I want to try
Yeah.
to flip it, but I just don't know. I don't
What you want to
know.
do is get it all to the edge, and as long as
Okay.
it's a lot, it's kind of like a flip fold.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And you're fine. And you know what? It can turn into a scramble. That's the best thing about omelets is that,
Ah, okay. I'm so close. Okay.
yeah.
Hey, hey. All right. A little brown.
Yeah.
Almost.
Little
Hey,
brown, that's
hey.
okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
So now what I
Okay.
would do is put your ingredients in on the inside, right there where the brown is. So
Okay.
nobody sees that. Put the cheese, put the vegetables, fold it, and then you can pop it in the
Cheese
oven or
first.
like put the lid on top of it, the other omelet pan to melt the cheese, and
Okay.
you're good to go.
I feel so
And
empowered.
that's
You have no
so. What kind of
idea.
cheese was
This
it
is
again? A
so cool.
dill Havarti? Is that?
Yes, I
Mm.
love it. I'm gonna Oh, okay. I'm gonna grab my spatula to help me. Probably
Yeah,
not the best spatula to choose, but
it works just
hey.
fine. And
All right.
it's beautiful. It looks so good. I wish I was there to eat some. Yep. And then sometimes if you want to speed it up, you can just put a little bit of water in it to
Okay.
steam it, and that will melt the cheese and finish it up. And if you, that's it. That's an omelet.
Oh my gosh. That's so exciting. Now I can actually like flip it again. Just
Yeah.
watch.
Woo!
That's so cool. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh,
Yay.
yay.
Cool. Well, that's perfect, y'all. All right. I'm so happy right now. I hope everybody has just enjoyed that because I sure did.
I hope so.
I haven't made an omelet like that in so long. You've given me a very special gift today.
And you know, the more you practice, the better. You'll get that flipping down, and then you'll be flipping pancakes and everything.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It smells so good.
I bet.
Oh my gosh. I will cook for you the next time I see you, for
Okay.
sure.
I'll come. Yeah,
Yes.
I'll have to make a trip down to see ya.
Definitely, definitely.
Mhm.
Um, wow. That was that was such
Yeah.
a good foodie thing there. Did you cook too?
I did
Hmm.
not cook, but I watched that incredible flip. That looks delicious. I agree. I'm gonna have to make an omelet in the next day. Uh, but I do have a question for Lisa. Maybe kick off questions, not about an omelet necessarily, because I think that was an excellent demonstration on for an omelet, an admitted omelet rookie. She did pretty good. I would eat that omelet. I would take that to my
Hmm.
table. I would be happy. But you said you like to use curry and make curry, and
Hmm.
so I that's something I've been interested in, but I don't know where to start. It seems
Well,
yeah, it
you know,
seems
there's a
hard.
lot. If you do, yeah, if you look up recipes, there's a bunch of different curries out there depending on which region. My go-to is that I always start off with like ginger, lemongrass, onions, garlic, and then I cook those down in white wine, and like some chicken stock, and I cook that down, and then I strain that, and then I add um, the curry, some curry seasoning, spices, and oh, what else? Carrots. I do use that too. It's been a while since I made one, but it starts off. It's like a 2-day process. It's to make the
So
sauce,
kind of just a
and then
slow cook down of the
hmm
sauce, and then just
yep.
really cook the curries in, and then
Hmm.
just put a protein in there and go to town, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, chicken, if you wanted seafood, steak, what, eggplant, you know, whatever. It's so
Ooh,
versatile. So, and then, you know, there's like Thai curries. There's Middle Eastern, the Malaysian curries. It's, they're a lot of fun. I just started,
awesome.
lemongrass was my favorite thing to work with. Lemongrass and ginger. That really just brings out
That
just
sounds
really good,
really tasty
fresh.
and bright.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
So,
So I will dip
yeah.
now. Maybe we have some other
Mhm.
questions from the audience. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I actually have another question for you in the meantime.
Mhm.
What's a food that you think that people find intimidating to cook? I mean, obviously I was intimidated by the omelet and now I just feel so ready to make
Good.
another.
Good. Yay! It's always good to feel empowered, feel like learning something new, even if it sounds like, oh, it's just an egg. But eggs are actually some of the hardest things to cook. When it comes to, you know, over easies, over meat, poached, scrambled. You know, some people like them scrambled soft, scrambled hard, and yada yada. But besides eggs, I would say root vegetables or just vegetables in general. I cook a lot with like turnips and parsnips and beets. Beets are one of my favorite things to cook, and they just are. People are just. I think they just see them and they're like, "Oh, they taste like dirt." It's like, no, they're the candy of the earth. They taste so
Yes. Yes.
good. And so beets,
Yes.
you know, I'll roast them with some water, and they take hours. they'll take like hours. And then once they're done, you peel them and cool them, and then I'll put them with arugula and some goat cheese and honey, and it's just so good. But yeah, I would say root vegetables people are intimidated by, because whenever I made them at the restaurant, people would say, "Man, I never eat vegetables, or I don't like vegetables, but I like your vegetables." So that always was nice. So,
I love it. I
but
think we have a
mhm.
fellow foodie who has something to say. Hey, Chris.
Okay.
Hello, foodie indeed.
Yes.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good. I tell people you don't get this big just looking at food. Anyway, thank you for letting me speak. What a great show. I have a question for your guest. I have a question for you both, I guess, whichever. Eggplant. Ooh, give me some tips on eggplant.
Okay. Eggplant. It is a difficult one, or it's not difficult. It takes some time. What I would do is peel it, slice it, and then what you want to do is put salt all over it, because that will take out the moisture, because they're very spongy. And once you do that, it's probably about an hour sitting with it. They'll look wet and kind of brown, and then you rinse them and then cook them. I usually battered them with flour, egg wash, breadcrumb, and then fried them. Um,
Can I get your
but
advice on a recipe I saw for an eggplant?
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
They had, this came from TikTok, that Michelin star place, TikTok. Anyway, they had a very big eggplant and they sliced it long ways but kept it intact with
Okay.
the stem, right? So you had a
Uh-huh.
kind of an accordion effect. Yeah. And then I saw that
Okay.
salt you're mentioning. They put that salt in between everywhere, and let it drain.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
they put a piece of, I think it was mozzarella and a piece of
Okay.
Roma tomato, and they alternated that back and forth between those cut
Ooh,
pieces, those accordion. And I think they might have baked it. Do you think that has
baked
potential to
it.
work?
Oh yeah, I think so. I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, the salting of it, getting all that moisture out and making it, the texture will be. I don't see why it wouldn't. It will probably take a whole eggplant with all that stuff. I would say at least an hour. But what did it say a time? No,
No, it was one of those visuals where
that's
they
just
go really
scary.
fast and they're just,
Uh,
music background.
yeah, I get you.
No.
But yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't work.
All right.
And then maybe like a nice marinara on top. Or,
Yeah, I'm going to give it a.
It's like an
mm,
Italian Hasselback eggplant.
okay. I've yeah,
Yeah,
I've never seen that recipe, but it sounds delicious.
I'll give it a try and let you know maybe how it went.
Okay.
that sounds
Yeah.
amazing,
And
honestly.
one final bonus question, if I may.
Hmm.
Of course.
Is it okay if I hate raw oysters? Thank you very much.
Yes. It is
Everybody's
okay.
entitled to their own food preference. I
Yes.
don't like black-eyed peas. I like
There
pretty
you
much
go.
every food. That's just one food I don't like.
I don't like papayas or mangoes really that much. So
Yeah.
everybody has their thing.
Every New Year's Day, I'm like, am I going to have horrible luck this year because I'm not eating black-eyed peas? It's a constant
Oh, is that a thing?
anxiety.
Oh,
It is,
that's a
yeah.
thing. Oh, I didn't know that. Well,
I, I wear yellow.
oh,
I do everything, every other superstition. Like, I mean, but I don't eat those. I'm like, is this going to affect me?
oh. Only if
Oh,
you, only if you will it to.
yes, thank you. Yeah, like this is not the end all be
Oh, how
all.
much this is so much fun. I'm glad.
Oh
Thank you
yeah.
for having me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. I really hope we do this again because
Yeah,
it's been amazing.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, thank
Yay.
you. Thank you. Um, honestly, I do have last question for you before we leave. Do you have a
Hmm.
spice that you want to give a shout out to?
A spice?
Yes.
Oh, like, oh my gosh, I love them all. I mean, so many. Spice. I would say cayenne pepper, because everything needs to be a little spicy.
That's a good one for sure.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes, I
So,
like it. I like it a lot.
hmm.
Yay. You are just a joyous person and a beam of sunshine. You've just been a complete joy in my life forever. And I'm so glad that you were on the show and helped me acquire a skill tonight. I think we
Anytime.
have another. Turmeric. Yes. So Chris says turmeric
Yes.
rocks.
Yes, turmeric. I do. I put that in my apple cider vinegar. That's what I drink. A little shot of it every morning with some pepper, because you need the pepper for with the turmeric to, so the turmeric will do its anti-inflammatory magic. So,
Yeah,
but
I love turmeric tea. Mm, mm,
yes,
mm.
yes, and ginger. I love ginger. I mean, honestly, I love a lot, and it all depends on what I'm making. If I'm making something that I want cinnamon, then cinnamon's gonna be my shout out spice. So. All
Right,
depends.
right. I think we should do something with turmeric. I think we should cook
Yeah,
some turmeric on the show because
yeah.
I think that's just another potential exposure that maybe not a lot of people
Hmm.
have played with before, but it is
Hmm.
so good,
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
good.
definitely. It is so good.
Yeah,
Agreed.
awesome,
So,
yay! Well,
hmm.
if there are no more questions, I again just want to thank you so much, and thanks to the audience too for all of your participation. We have loved just all of the happiness coming from you as well, and thanks for cheering me on during the omelet making as well. It was a boost, so I appreciate it. And
All right.
thanks, Chef Lisa, and hope everybody has
Yeah.
a great night and take
Hmm.
care.
Yes, take
All
care.
right.
All right.
All
Bye.
right.
Thank you.
Bye,
Sending
everyone.
love.